A very good afternoon to you folks. Welcome back to ACTnow Hot Issue. What's for lunch together with me, Mio Adlan, on this glorious Tuesday afternoon. Hope you guys are having a productive day so far. Hope you guys are, all geared up. Very hardworking, or should I say, wherever it is that you are, whether you're in the office, whether you're in, wherever it is that you may be. Yang paling pentingnya adalah you menunjukkan daya ataupun kekuatan dan juga kesungguhan dalam apa saja yang anda lakukan. Okay, as always, we are here at ACTnow Hot Issue. What's for lunch? Make sure you guys share this video. Make sure you guys drop down a comment to us, and make sure you guys, like this video as well. Special mention to our regular watchers, Daniel Park as well as Nick, who are together with us without fail. Thank you so much, guys, for always supporting us down here at ACTnow Hot Issue. What's for lunch? And the one person, as always, who always support us regardless of however the situation is, who always has something to say, who always want to contribute his thoughts on how things are, is your favorite professional who looks great in red, by the way, Melvin Lam. Hey Melvin, what's up?
Hi. I tell you, I was out all of a sudden. I came back.
I saw you were out. I was like, where did Melvin go? Where did Melvin go?
This morning I felt everything is quite normal. I felt like I'm very light. I'm very high. I don't know. I just floated out from StreamYard.
Yeah. Funny you should mention that, because what you have just mentioned there is actually a bit of a teaser of what we're going to be talking about today. And the topic at hand, panicking, exactly. One of the symptoms actually. Now, the reason why we're laughing so hard is that what we want to talk about today. Again, this actually is a very interesting topic. You can look at the funny side of it. You can look at how serious or how great this topic is, and how it can go further along in helping us, as Malaysians, specifically in the health industry. But one thing you cannot deny, the fact that it is something that would make your mind go everywhere. And what we're trying to talk about is that the topic, as simple as that. If you can decipher this, we're talking about let's get high. Okay, what this particular topic actually means is that we want to talk about what has been released, or what has been mentioned by our Minister of Health recently, YB Khairi Jamaluddin, in regards of his response to allowing medical marijuana to be used in daily treatments down here in Malaysia. Just a bit of a feedback, or should I say a bit of a history on where has this been come about. In the United States of America, it is well known already that medical marijuana has been used by a lot of states there, legally, I might add, to treat people who has cancer, who has severe migraines, who has other types of diseases, or should I say sickness, and they use medical marijuana to treat these patients rather than using conventional painkillers and whatnot. And it has been practiced for, at least, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, viewers, it has been practiced for about 3 to 4 years now, marijuana, medical marijuana, I need to make that as clear as possible, is actually legal in the United States. And now the Ministry of Health is considering to bring it down to Malaysia and promote it as something legal that a patient could take in his or her treatment plan. Melvin, you want to start off with this?
Well, it's a good move, I believe. As you say, yes, it's approved, but then I think not all the states in America, but they are
not all. Yeah,
not all, but I think they are progressing. That reminds me, I saw a documentary on a veteran singer actress Oliver Newton-John. I wonder you.
Yeah, I know of the name. Yeah, of course.
She added with John Travolta and Grease and all the things. She has cancer as well, and she plants behind her house. I mean, she's actually have the license or given the rights to plant it. Because she needs that to, and she actually have some improvement. She has cancer, I think, for breast cancer, I believe, for quite a number of years. And now she's I think she resides in California, and it's allowed her to plant her own drugs, so-called cannabis.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think Malaysia, we have to advance because there is a lot of course, there's positive, but anything that we ourselves to be brain, if we abuse this, isn't it? Yeah. And I mean, it says here in Malaysia, the existing acts that regulate cannabis in Malaysia are the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952, Poisons Act 1952, and the Sale of Drugs Act 1952, who do not prohibit the use of cannabis for medicines purposes. So it's 1952. That's older than me. That's for sure.
Okay, good to know.
I feel so young. No. So I think these acts should restudy to accommodate the 2021 and beyond. Because it has proven cannabis is good for medicinal purposes. Not, of course, it's bad for people who abuse it. That's about it.
Yeah. I mean, Melvin, my point of view is that, when you want to talk about abusing any types of medication, you don't have to look too far into marijuana, because look at your painkillers. I mean, I know for a fact that we have an array of people out there. Again, not a lot, not all, but some people out there who are mistreating all of this kind of drugs, painkillers, your morphine. I mean, people know that morphine is being used.
I know about cough syrup.
Yeah, one of it actually, because you know what these drugs actually do. Again, hence why marijuana is actually being classified as a soft-core drug, because in comparison to other hardcore drugs like your morphine, like your heroin, like your cocaine and whatnot, those are hardcore drugs. And marijuana has been or has shown that taken properly, it helps you when you are fighting against cancer, for instance, because again, how marijuana, again, as far as I understand it, I'm not a doctor, far from it, but how I understand it is that by using marijuana, it relieves the stress, or should I say the pain that one may be going through while they're actually taking chemotherapy, so on and so forth. Because any cancer patient out there will agree with me in saying that chemotherapy is not as easy as it is. It's not as painless as it is. It's a very painful procedure, treatment. It gives you a lot of sickness. You tend to want to vomit more. You rasa loya, you rasa tiredness, and a lot of pains here and there. So the medical marijuana is supposed to treat that pain, take that pain away in a controlled environment. So that's what we're trying to discuss here. That's what we're trying to determine over here. Because kalau you nak kata salah menyalahgunakan benda ni, even cough syrup, like you said, pun orang salah gunakan. At one point, people were sniffing glue. They were sniffing glue to release their stress, and that's obviously you are mistreating what the purpose of the glue is, Melvin. So it all depends on the humans itself.
I believe still is the cheapest alternative for drugs abuser. You can't afford so-called those designer drugs, whatever it is. It's too expensive, so you make your sniff group. To make the stuff high, it still is. So I think this is all the we ourselves to be brave. But if the cannabis is a good source for medical value, we should not put it aside and say, "Oh, there's a taboo. We should not have this. We should not have that." To be an just called anti-vaxxer.
Okay.
But it is because nowadays diseases, cancers hit you. I believe because reflect my age again. Those days I see those old people. The talk about cancer is very rare. And sickness, diseases always associates with elderly people. All right, or at a certain age, of course, they have come of this disease come and all this. Now it's not. When you're young, even youngs are hit by terminal diseases.
Yeah.
So we need proven so-called medicines that works, even though it's bad because it's drug, people abuse it, they get high and all this thing. So I think who brought it up? Yes, Syed Saddiq brought it up. MP Syed Saddiq actually brought it up and asked in the parliament in September and asked the government to look into legalizing medical marijuana and hemp. Hemp is another drug, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a type of marijuana. Yep.
Marijuana, So it's right time, because why I say right time, because I'm so sorry, we government in Malaysia, when we say yes, it still have a long time to implement.
Yep. I mean, most probably that we're gonna see that they're gonna give a green light to medical marijuana when I'm, a grandfather already. I don't know why. Because I mean, again, just to share with our viewers a bit of a tidbit, or should I say, a bit of facts out there. It is actually mentioned that studies in Canada has shown that medical marijuana and hemp are good for controlling seizures in drug-resistant epilepsy and psychiatric comorbidity. And patients with multiple sclerosis have also reported a reduction of pain, spasm, tremors, nausea, numbness, lack of sleep, as well as bladder and bowel problems. Now, this one actually is very interesting. It also elevates tightness, thereby improving mood and appetite, enhancing writing ability, and boosting sexual functions. Now, who doesn't want that, Melvin?
That one we can put aside, but something I think I need very quickly, something related to my age.
Okay.
It says here clearly, the active ingredients in the cannabis plants have the potential to treat diseases related to deteriorations of brain functions, such as
Alzheimer's, yeah, exactly. So I mean,
I was related to age, so I might need because I use my brain too much.
Factor usia. But I just want to pick up the point that you actually brought up earlier, because you actually compared this with the anti-vaccine group, because, well, people, when they don't have enough information, where they do not get the proper information in regards of a certain things, hence why they tend to not want it, they tend to say bad things about it because of the lack of information that they have in their hand. I believe that this is the similar case with marijuana, or should I say medical marijuana down the road, because until the government, or should I say until the agencies or the bodies who are in charge of proving the fact that medical marijuana actually works and outweighs the pros rather than the cons, then we should be on board with this, right? With proper information and proper R&D on this, right?
Not only R&D, I think public education, public programs, public campaigns need to exercise. Start with them from primary school. Because this primary school, let's say primary, secondary, or even secondary, let's start with secondary, lower secondary. Because 10 years from there, they'll become young adults, they'll be working, they'll be probably earning, they'll be abusing. So start them from young. Educate them what the goods, let's say, the goods and the bad and what to avoid. So, and the public campaign. So we also must have those high penalty for those who abuse it. not those type of 1-2 years, 50,000 fine ringgit. What's that? You one is consignments of cannabis for it make those people become billionaires and all those things. So have a more tough penalty for those people who abuse it.
Yeah, exactly. And when you look at this, because again, I mean, when you want to relate, something like this, to the Malaysian public at least, you can't deny the fact that, as we mentioned again on top of the show, that there will be some awful human beings out there who will be misusing this, who will be taking advantage of this, who will be thinking about profits more than anything else. Because hence why the Malaysia, we are one of the, if not the only country who is actually imposing death penalties for drug dealers, because drug dealers are even worse than drug abusers, because drug dealers are the ones who are, orang kata apa, yang memberikan, the ones who are giving the drug abusers to abuse themselves. So hence why sampai hukuman gantung sampai mati dikenakan will be taken upon the drug dealers out there. I think that is something that people need to be really aware of what the situation is, and try to accommodate the goodness in having this type of drug out there for people to use it in their daily lives, to treat their sickness and whatnot, Melvin.
And yes, regulate it and have a watch of these doctors or clinics. Remember that we have mentioned that those SOP, even doctors sell those for 1,600 ringgit.
Yep.
So they themselves are culprits, make sure that have a very tough. If they're found this gantung their license, they cannot practice anymore and all those things, because doctors are given probably the right to subscribe if the patients needs such drugs, cannabis-related medicines products,
Yeah, exactly. But maybe as well, Melvin, because the fact that the word marijuana or cannabis has gotten a lot of bad repo. You were in the advertising industry before. Maybe we need to change the name of it. Have a new persona, have a new brand to it, rather than having the word marijuana or cannabis. Maybe kita kena tukar nama so that orang senang nak menerima. Do you think that would be a good way to go?
It's a stranger. Malaysia doesn't like names. Because it's a brand or product or services.
Okay.
After that, people come up to, it's a name, it's so sensitive, you are getting high on that person.
Yeah. I mean, you janganlah boboh nama dia, nama Muhammad ke, janganlah boboh nama Ali ke, or even Cek Tek Siong ke, whatever the name might be, But no, I mean, like, for an advertising guy, as you were before, I mean, like, how would you promote this to the Malaysian public? How would you convince for the majority of Malaysian public who are scared of having these things legalized? Is there a way for us to actually able to educate them, or at least what the government needs to do to educate the people?
I think it's not the name. I think it's the gist of the communications. I think cannabis is good for medicines only. Not for others' purpose, something like that. It's the what you want to communicate out, the message. Not changing the name, people still abuse. Like it's something like, okay, cannabis save your life, but you abuse it, you go to hell. Yeah, you'll be hell. Something like that is the message that what you want to put forward, and make sure the message is I see a lot. I mean, a lot of drug abuser. A lot comes from the lower income group. So you must also reach them. What is their social preference or the media preference? They probably don't go to Instagram, Twitter, all those things. A high level, probably just a high level abuser, the one who are rich, white collar drugs abuser. But I see a lot of those lower income group. Very unfortunate, the income is low, but they still goes into it. That's why they go into sniff groups and all these things. So how do you communicate with them? Which mediums? What medium makes able to communicate to them? You can actually have a lot of nice hoardings, all this in front of those rumah, those public flats, have those message every day. They write down. They come down from their flats. You see the billboards and all these things there.
Yeah.
So find ways, the right ways, because I see a lot of communications too intellectual.
So not for the layman lah. That's what you're saying.
But the layman is actually the victims.
Okay.
Yeah. So I say we have turun padang. That's all the politicians say. Let's go down to the field. Like me, I mean, I'm not bragging myself. For the last 30 years, every morning I did 5 to 6 times a week, or almost every day. I turun padang. I go to the markets, not because I like to buy. I interact. I see how the behavior.
Yeah.
The behavior. You go to the weekends, you will also see people like from white collar go down to buy on the morning markets, interact. You study them. It's not just buy and go. I mean, I'm born with the gift. I monitor, I study.
Yeah, so it's all about exactly. So it's all about understanding the crowd.
You understand them.
Yeah.
I think a lot of those big campaigns, the higher big advertising agencies, all their posh set up and all these things, but they do not think to target audience.
Yeah, exactly. You need to be mindful of whoever it is that you're addressing your campaign to. Like what Marvin has mentioned, tak kisahlah, you're not addressed to the B40. The different lingo needs to be used against the M40, and also a different lingo needs to be used for the T20 because it's all different. The way that they consume information, as what Marvin has mentioned, is also different. Bahasa yang diguna pakai pun is different. It all depends on how you want to address the message and what the message is actually, and what has been promoted across the board for the longest time, as far as I could remember, because thank God that our education system actually did work one time around, because I masih lagi ingat is the word penyalahgunaan dadah. We're not saying that you tak boleh ambil dadah, but it's all about the word penyalahgunaan, the wrong use of drugs. That's what we don't want to happen. So that's what the message needs to be. What we're trying to say is that yes, drugs are important still in the medicine line, but the wrong usage, penyalahgunaan dadah, boleh mendatangkan maut. So that's the thing that
I guess everything in life that you abuse it is bad.
Yeah. If you abuse happiness also, I think you can get sad also one day. I truly believe that.
Too much happiness you don't value what is happiness.
Exactly. Right. So hence why it needs to be in moderation.
I learned another 2 days ago, or yesterday, people abuse because they are minister, so they abuse behind the power they have given.
That's another topic that we won't cover on here because we don't touch about politics. But what we're trying to say is that sometimes Melvin, these are the kind of things that makes you go, aku sebenarnya lagi pandai daripada politician ni sebenarnya. It makes us happy, It makes us happy in some way.
I think now a lot of words are better than any politicians.
All right, there you go. All right, enough about that. Enough about getting high. So don't get high if you don't have to, because again, benda ni adalah benda-benda about medical. But let's jump to a few snippets that we want to bring out, and that's actually something that's going on, Melvin, in regards of what ACTnow, the mobile app, has been doing. Can you share with us this story while I put up the picture on the board? Silakan.
Yes, this is one of our testimonial.
There you go. It's up on the board.
Okay, we have received from our users thanking us that the issue that he has brought up has been attended. He said upgrading of pedestrian sidewalk. It was in a very terrible conditions when he reported. Means there's a lot of uneven surface that people might treat down all this because it's uneven, especially after rains and all these things. So the report came in. He thanked us for forwarding out. This happens in under the Majlis Badaran Kajang and PKJ. Kudos to them for helping out. Now what they did, they repaved the whole sidewalk pavement. There's pictures there. You see, it's no joke. It's they actually the whole stress. Right. So then they resurface it, we do a new one for the communities in Taman Bukit Ansana, Cheras. Right? It's nicely done, neat. So this is the things that we hope to assist the communities throughout Malaysia, of course, eventually we hope throughout other countries as well. Please do not shy away to report using ACTnow app. A lot of people are shy to use, I would say, or feel threatened to report because my data, they know me, I have to give my IC, my name, and all these things. But using ACTnow, you are sure you are protected because we actually report on your behalf. So all the Marjories or authorities or the respective departments, when they want more information, they actually coordinate or communicate with ACTnow departments, our administration's departments. So this is one of those that we have assist. I want to highlight this because let's do our part. Let's make a better environment. Imagine before and after, if someone have to go back to that residence, the taman, they say, "Wow, it has a change." Probably what they do, the value of the property there has probably increased. If we take care of our own taman, isn't it? I don't see at these potholes, the commercial area, everyone's very disciplined, and all these things are not like gangster, hijack the public car park, with the suits, with the cones, like a gangster neighborhood. If you want to sell that your property there, you would not fetch probably a high price. If you go to the properties, also potential buyer, everything's neat. Wow, everyone's a wonderful neighborhood. The lawns is taken well. No, I don't see heap of rubbish everywhere. Everyone's there. That where correct me if I'm wrong. Definitely it's easier to sell a higher price.
Yep, exactly. And that's the magic that we would like to show off to you guys is that, with the mobile app of ACTnow, it does work, and it does not work just one time. It does not work just twice or three or four. It actually works so much more, but with your help, with your eyes and ears to the ground of whatever that's happening within your community. Because why? ACTnow is affiliated with 155 municipal councils throughout Malaysia. So we don't just concentrate on DBKL. We don't just concentrate on MBPJ, or we don't just concentrate on MPAJ, all the high volume, Lembah Kelang, glamour kind of place. We are everywhere. So do not be afraid to actually snap your photo and upload it. Become anonymous reporter. Why? Because this is not just for your own good. It's also for the betterment of your community as well. Contohnya macam longkang tadi, imagine kalau you naik basikal, you terjatuh sebab ada lubang, you masuk dalam longkang, habis kena buat kenduri arwah.
You are KJ, okay lah. You are KJ, okay. They will pay attention. You have nobody like me. Hey, 400 people there, they also don't pay attention to you.
So how do you get people to pay attention? By becoming one of us, by downloading ACTnow on your handphone, on your mobile phone, but via the Apple App Store as well as the Google Play Store, and just download it and just Scout Team upload, and then you would be able to get your problems resolved. It may not be immediately, it may not be 24 hours, but it will get to the right sources for them to know what is going on, and they would attend to the matter at hand as soon as possible. A lot of cases that we have done, a lot of great things that we have done together with ACTnow. Melvin.
Okay, one thing, since we have 2-3 minutes left, another case is a long time ago, I think before sometime early last year, a report where actually the reports captured the lady that actually tripped over and fell over the potholes, was bleeding in one of the taman. It's still there I can't remember what number, but it was about a year ago. Immediately, unfortunately, she fell, but action was taken within a week. Also from DBK, this is from DBKL. The retard, not only that place that she fell, the surrounding area of the commercial area. Because that lady was very bad, was bleeding from I think it fell, and then probably the nose or mouth was cut. So of course So why? I mean, it could have someone make the report earlier. That lady might not fell.
Correct. Yeah.
So we do not take actions when and the events take place. It could be a mishap. It could lose life. So everyone, please, you see something is need to be attended. Just use ACTnow community mobile app. You have a smartphone. 96% of the communities in Malaysia have smartphones. Download it. It's a free service. We don't charge you. We give you the blessing. In fact, you will be blessed by your communities that you have make a report. You benefit your community.
Exactly. Do your part, Malaysia. Support ACTnow, because at the end of the day, you don't just support ACTnow, you support your whole community.
And you do not need cannabis because you're so blessed.
Okay.
Blessing is also a medical.
No, I don't really want to go far into that, but yeah, let's just leave it at that. Okay, awesome stuff that we have just talked about today. Very, very interesting topic that we have today, but definitely there's going to be a lot more topics that's going to be discussed throughout the week. Melvin, tomorrow, same time, same place for sure.
Yes, I see you.
See you. Take care.
Have a high day.
Thank you. Aduh, inilah cerita dengan Melvin, asyik nak high je kan. Oh my god. But yeah, it is actually true. Why we actually want to bring all this kind of topics is because we want to make sure that we keep the conversation going on, whatever that's hot out there, whatever that needs to be discussed, whatever that needs to be portrayed to the public for the better of ourselves moving forward. That's all for now, folks. That's all what we have for today's edition. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Hope you guys have a great Tuesday. Enjoy lunch. You're on lunch, taking care. Take care.